Hey, welcome back to Taking Trades. My name is Jimmy and this is my YouTube channel where I like to talk day trading. I like to talk exits, entries, longs, shorts, the why, the how, everything about day trading. And I also like to hear what you guys traded. So please comment, let me know what you traded. Let me know if you're green, if you're red, what's been happening over this previous week. You may have noticed I haven't uploaded in about a week. I feel kind of rusty. I haven't been taking many trades, so I've been sitting on my hands. It's been kind of a wild past week, but today I did take a trade. I took a long position on ticker symbol RIOT. I took it long on a bullish pullback and took a little profit and then got stopped out. So let's dive into that trade. I'll show you what I was thinking, why I entered, why I took some profit, and ultimately why I think I got stopped out. Let's jump into it. Okay, let's jump in here. So I've got the daily chart up right now on ticker symbol RIOT. And the reason I got involved with this stock this morning is that it was gapping up and was moving on the day. And that's one thing that I wanted to get into and talk a little bit about today was I feel like my trading I'd started gravitating towards stocks that I had traded in the past and that I was comfortable with, and not necessarily trading stocks that were in play. And when I say in play, I just mean a stock that has a catalyst on the day. It's so important for a stock to have news or something going on, like whether it beat earnings or maybe it didn't beat earnings. It didn't make earnings and it's getting pushed down. So anything that's making a stock move around. If that happens, then a lot of other retail traders will be looking at that stock and playing similar patterns to those that we're watching. So it just makes the stock, it sets the stock up to be more playable, I guess you could say. It's in play, it's moving for a reason, it's got a little more volatility than normal, and so it's worth taking a look at because its patterns might be more true. They might be able to play out a little better. So with that being said, RIOT, Riot Blockchain Inc., I was looking at the daily chart. Once I saw it was in play, I brought up the daily chart and I was just watching it, just seeing what it's doing. And I did notice that, here's today. It was gapping up, and I noticed that it was sort of gapping up into this area. And if I look over here, if I kind of look over and kind of work my way up this wall of price action here, I'll see that the next sort of high point that we run into is right here at 4.29. So I went ahead and drew a line there, and then the next one after that seemed to be 466, and then after that there's a big pocket all the way up to 680. So I drew those levels out just so you know, so you'll know where they come from. And then I switched over to the 5-minute chart and I started watching this. And so you can see what happened. My goal today was to play very nice, true 5-minute pullbacks. So meaning we're getting a nice push up in price action, then some pullback down into this 9 exponential moving average, and then a continued move higher. So the way I like to play these is when you get this push up, for example here, price action, big push up, so you get a volume bar, relative volume that is a spike. Then you get some pullback, where meaning smaller candles working their way and pulling back into this 9 exponential moving average. Now these candles you want to see lighter volume. So you got the high volume on the initial spike, then you get lower volume as it's pulling back, and then my preference is I look for the first 5-minute candle to break the body of this most recent candle here. So what I mean by that is the top of the body on this candle is the close price at 313. So right there. And then the bottom of the body is down here at the open at 315 and at 321. Sorry. Wait. Sorry. Right. Let's see. The open on this candle 307, and then the close is 313. So that's the body of the candle. So to break 313 would be a buy. So I would buy this at 313, and then as it pushes up, I would try to cut half my position and then let half my position ride. And I would set my stop below the low of this candle. So right in here. So if you would have done that, for example, got the push up higher, the pullback, a break of this body, and you were in at 313 or 314, and you sold half your position, say maybe into this move here, or even into this candle here, sold half your position and then held and set your stop right below this low of this candle here, you would have just ridden this all day, you know, really all the way up here. And obviously, as it started to trend back down, you would have exited your position because the market would have sort of indicated that. So it could have been a really good trade. Problem is, I wasn't paying attention to it when it did this or this or this or this or this, and I actually got in this spike here, gave me this volume bar, it was nice and high, then pulled back on these two step down candles, so everything looked good. My signals were all there, and then just to top things off, I had this nice $4, and remember we talked about this a while ago, psychological support levels, hold and half dollars. This whole dollar was adding additional support, and so when this pullback touched $4 but didn't break it, and we got the next candle that opened, when this candle broke the body of this candle, so the body on this would have been let's see, the body of this candle on the open would have been 409. So I got long at 410. It pushed up to 421. I sold half my position. I had 400 shares. I sold 200 into this candle right here. And then my thought was to let the last 200 continue to ride on up. But what happened was it rolled over. It started to kind of test my $4 level, which was my stop, and then it just slammed down and just ripped me, and I stopped myself out. So the nice thing is this was a really good trade for me because with 400 shares, I took a 15-cent loss, so I should have lost $60. But you can see with managing the trade by taking a little profit into the first leg up and then letting the second half ride to see what's going to happen, and then getting slammed down and ripped on that second half and holding tight to where my stop was, you can see that my loss on the day with the 400 shares was only $9.56. So a $60 loss turned into a $9.56 loss. You do that 100 times. If I take this trade 100 times, my guess is that I'm going to come out ahead, especially managing risk like this. So I'm really happy with how the trade went, even though it was technically red. You know, it still feels like a winner. And the thing I think I can learn from this trade in particular is that I took not one, not two, not three, not four, but the fifth pullback. And anybody that knows anything about trading pullbacks, really the first two are in play. Beyond the first two, things are getting a little sketchier. So you just got to watch because stocks move in waves and they like to pull back and they like to reverse in direction at some point. And that's exactly what happened. So I literally got in at the very last pullback before it slammed back down. So that's what I learned from it, was take the first two pullbacks, and if you find yourself up here looking at a fifth, you just got to pass, even if it looks like a good setup, because you can really get these situations that'll come in and slam you down. So you can see how big this candle was. Just chopped me out and I was done. So, but I went ahead and held my stop at $4, got slippage down to $3.95, so that's why I said my loss was 15 cents, because I was in at 410, stop at 4, but slippage to $3.95. So 15 cents, should have lost $60, but instead ended up only down $9.56. And I journaled this one. I wrote details in my trading journal, talked about the setup, the entry, what ultimately happened, how my risk was managed, and I'm just going to keep logging statistics on this stuff. These pullbacks are really good, and like I said, you know, if I would have seen this first one and traded it, you know, I would have taken a half position
off with a little bit of profit up in here, and then just let the other half ride. You know, it could have ridden that all the way up to, 420, 423 before it reversed over. So pretty cool trade. Really active stock today, and again, that's really important, is making sure that stocks have news. That's something I lost touch with, and I'm revisiting it, and I'm really trying to not get comfortable with any particular stock. I'm trying to say whatever stock is moving and has a catalyst is a stock in play for me. So that's sort of a change that I'm going to make, that I am making right now. So I would love to hear your comments about it. How do you guys pick your stocks during the day? Do you solely base it on news? Do you go based off, like, if you happen to see a stock that's a big gainer on the day for no reason at all, do you like to trade those? It just seems like things are a little more legit when it does have news pushing behind it. So anyway, I hope you guys are green. Hope it was a great day. Please leave a comment. I'm glad to be back. It's been it's kind of a slow sit on your hands kind of previous week. So I apologize for not being around the YouTubes recently. But anyway, leave me a comment and we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Thank you.